Today, ladies and gentlemen, we're breaking down Uber stock earnings. As I'm sure you've heard, it's hitting its 52-week low. We're going to see a quick interview from the CEO as well and break this entire thing down for you. So let's jump right into this. Welcome back, my passive income investors. I like to Uber earnings as we break down what's going on with this company. Should you be buying it? Should you be selling it? I'm going to give you my own personal opinion at the end of this video. But let's start with the CNBC headlines here. Uber stock falls after earnings beat estimates, but quarterly loss topped $1 billion. Ladies and gentlemen, that is not a small number, but this company's dragging that cash flow. And so let's start with an interview from the CEO himself, and let's jump right into it.
Dara Khosrowshahi. Dara, thanks for being with us. I got you?
Happy to do it. Thank you.
So we're seeing improving revenue growth, but you guys are still burning through billions a year. When does Uber break even? Are you willing to give us a timetable today?
Yeah, I think if you look at our numbers, it was a very significant beat on the top line in terms of revenue growth accelerating and the bottom line. We increased our 2019, the midpoint of our guidance in as far as EBITDA goes by $250 million. And I'll tell you, Deirdre, while we haven't finalized our planning, and it's going to take a lot of hard work from a lot of folks, we are actually targeting 2021 for adjusted EBITDA profitability full year. So we know that there's an expectation of profitability, and we expect to deliver for 2021.
So this is really forward-looking information. We're just going to pause it there because the rest of the interview just kind of follows up on basically what their forward-looking projections are. And I want to talk about their cost because for a tech company, I don't like tech companies with low margins. Personally, not my favorite. So let's go through some of the reasons they're burning through capital with this article that I found here. To understand, we'll start with fares and work our way through the company's costs. So up first, gross bookings or the value of all rides on Uber platform. In the second quarter of 2018, Uber's gross bookings totaled $12 billion. Not a small chunk of change here, guys. $12 billion. However, Uber doesn't get to keep most of it. In fact, a lot of the things they need to come out of those gross bookings before we can figure out Uber's own revenue. The largest gross bookings cost in Uber, well, it's what Uber drivers make. We got to pay them employees. In the second quarter, $8.2 billion of that $12 billion in Uber's profits or their income revenues was going straight to those Uber drivers, guys. Now, Uber also spent $142 million on promotions in the second quarter, paid drivers another $427 million in incentives, spent $27 million on refunds, and paid another $411 million in taxes. Oh my goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, let's just scroll down. I want to show you this little pie chart these guys put together on Uber's Q2 of 2018. Just to give you a better idea, obviously this is looking a little bit farther backwards as they're slowly grinding at getting rid of all of these expenses. Even still, just going over this with their sales and marketing, which is a huge chunk of that change, which I think is absolutely necessary to get to that profitability. So I have nothing against almost spending $1 billion, well, $250 million or $750 million just on sales. But general and administrative is massive as well. So you're obviously going to have to be paying for them staff, everybody to keep up on the tech side of things. We got research and development working at $362 million, operations and support $344 million, and then just other costs of just under $100 million. Now, personally, I'm not the biggest fan of Uber stock, guys. A lot of people, and I'm sure if you watch YouTubes, you've heard financial education talking about Uber lately. I'm sure you've heard of Concrete. If you watch the Concrete channel, he goes on about how Uber stock was one that he bought, which he's probably taking a bit of a loss on at this point, as we can see over the last, since its IPO, because Uber hasn't been around that long at all, and it hasn't done well at all. And like I said, guys, it's just their margins are utterly terrible for a company that's worth $50 billion to be net negative profitability, and the fact that you don't know what their margins are going to be by 2021. And if you're looking for a tech company, I mean, why wouldn't you just buy something like, say, a Facebook? A Facebook, at least, their net margins are absolutely absurd. Same with like Apple, net margins are like 30%. It's just annoying to me that when we're looking at growth companies, especially something like Uber, it's so disruptive, but I think it's just taken so long for them to get to a level where they're going to start capping out their growth. And that's when things get a lot scarier because, I mean, once this company caps out at its growth, Where does it go from there? Now, I want you to let me know in the comment section below, what do you think about Uber stock? Just because, where do you think it's going? I don't like I said, companies that don't have big enough margins, especially in the tech sector, when there's so many other stocks you could buy that would get you so much closer to profits next quarter because they're already banging out that quarterly revenue earnings, baby. So I don't know why everyone's so hyped up about Uber stock. I think their company is absolutely incredible. I do not like their balance sheet whatsoever. I will not be adding this to my personal portfolio. And I don't know, I think if you're buying it, you should take some concern with it because the growth rate just isn't nearly as high as some of those other companies that exist within the space. Considering, like, if you buy Tesla, you're overpaying huge for it as well. I mean, look at, just to put this in perspective, guys, what is the market cap on Uber right now? We're talking 49 billion. Let's take a look at Tesla and just compare the overall books, because a lot of people think Tesla's crazy. Again, the money's a little different here as well, but Tesla's sitting at a $57 billion market cap. So what do you think is worth more, Uber or Tesla? And what one do you think has the most future outlook? Because in my opinion, if Tesla does achieve full self-driving, then Uber might even become non-existent and their stock could take an even bigger hit coming in the next 2 years if AI and self-driving gets far enough ahead. So I mean, they have a lot of things you need to be looking at in this sector of the market and how disruptive it may be in the future. So to not even see profitability until 2021, I mean, could somebody else come in and start taking over the space, like a self-driving with Tesla, or I don't know what else might come out, because I mean, taxis are completely dead, so that competition's done and over with. But I don't know, it's gonna be neat to see where this goes, guys. I'd love to hear what you think in the comment section below. Just a really quick earnings report for you, so stay cool, stay awesome, guys. I look forward to chatting to you real soon.